Hello, Abraham. Nice to see you and all the staff again. I've got 3 questions. I think he summarized at the end. Working out kinks in my vibration. So I've been studying recently the material being presented by 2 gentlemen, wonderful, Corey Good and David Wilcock, and they teach similar to your teachings from a book called The Law of One. Wonderful stuff. And they've also been sharing information from their own personal experiences about domination and control of the planet, mind control, all of these things that kind of go on in the background. And they talk about solutions being a cosmic occurrence that may come. None of that squares with what I've been studying with you and other
teachers.
Well,
those things are not really going on in the background. They're going on in the foreground.
What do you mean
What's
by
going
that?
on in the background is law of attraction. What's going on in the background is your source. What's going in the background is your own vortex. What's going on in the background is what you have created, and then you're bringing it out into the foreground by your focus upon it. And so
the kinds of changes, things that myself or others might want to see in the world where we know our own empowerment and have the ability to have power and influence over what happens in the world. What are the Abraham principles and teachings that allow us to do that through the methods you teach?
Well, there's a difference in what we are encouraging and what we are hearing, at least what we are perceiving, that you are perceiving from what you are talking about, because we are encouraging you to be the extension of your own source and the individual creator of your own experience, where you don't spend too much time trying to influence or control what others are doing. Because when you understand your own point of attraction and you understand that environment is big enough for everyone to create their own reality, then you don't believe that you have to control the circumstances of others in order to have the reality that you want. That just never ends. You never work your way out into a place of freedom when you believe that your work is to garner enough influence that you can then control other outcomes that you need to observe in order to feel better. It's a backwards approach to it. We certainly understand why that seems like a good idea, because it is easier to love a lovable one than it is an unlovable one. But that's what we're talking about, this mutuality. Do you need the world to be mutual with you in order for you to be joyful, or can you find mutuality with your own inner being and sustain that? And this may be some of what you're talking about there. When you care mostly about your mutuality with your own inner power, your own inner truth, and your own inner strength, so that you are consistently there, then if others are going to engage with you, they must rise to your level. And so the thing that's tricky is, if you can maintain this while you're observing that, then good for you. Maybe you can find satisfaction in that, and that would be the key. That would be the only bridge that would be viable between the 2 approaches. Yeah.
So relative to that, so you and I have been talking about years, for me at least, that's always my question to you, this intersection of spirituality and politics, and I know I've asked this before. So when people like myself who are committed to...
Politics may be the subject that is most devoid of spirituality that exists on the planet today, because the attention is upon affecting the outcome. The attention is upon the manifestation rather than the connection and the emotion.
But what I'd like to get out of you is some clear words of how we use our own process to influence the world positively.
It is my desire to focus myself moment by moment into feelings of satisfaction, because that feeling of satisfaction and more is my indication of my being in the receiving mode. And when I'm in the receiving mode, then my point of influence is mighty, because when I'm in concert with the energy that creates worlds, when I team up with my inner being, and my point of attraction and the point of attraction of my inner being is one and the same, then I have big time attraction going on. However, I cannot attract to me that which is not mutual. So the result would be, if I stay there and I'm consistently there and I get the momentum going there, so that I not only feel satisfied, I feel passion, I feel exhilaration, then the cooperative components that are being gathered by law of attraction, and I'm standing over there with my inner being, and so law of attraction is responding to the singularity of us. There's no split energy of me and me. There's no split energy of my non-physical merry band, a powerful group of non-physical energies. Then those in the world that are in the vicinity of that which I am about will naturally gravitate to where I am.
And in that way, we can uplift others because they see who we are.
You're not uplifting them. They are allowing themselves to be uplifted.
Oh.
And where it goes a little screwy is when you believe that you are to uplift them. Because let's say you're uplifted and they're not, and you want to uplift them, so you go to where they are to try to get them to bring them back. You have no power now. You got to stay there, and they've got to join you.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah. And they naturally will, if they would just stop beating the drum of what's wrong with this and what's wrong with this and what's wrong with this and what's wrong with this. If they would just give it a little rest.
If there's no resistance, we naturally go with where our inner being is.
It's not even a desire. It's a natural state of being. The radio signals are not calling it positive or negative. They're just calling it equivalent signals. That's why we keep calling it. When you find your vibrational equivalency with your own inner being, then you've got one point of attraction, so you're not working against yourself. That's really the point that we're making. By coming into alignment with who you are, then you're not working against yourself. And when you're not working against yourself, you are as powerful as you could possibly be.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So what are the other laws of the universe? You talk about the law of attraction. Are there any other laws in the universe you can share with us?
Not any that are on par. Not any that are mutual.
Nothing mutual.
Nothing in the vicinity.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.